I don't want to call this a filler episode, but it was a filler episode, but I enjoyed it. So first we open up, the X-Men are having dinner, Gambit and Rogue are flirting, and then Magneto intervenes.
Here, take some cream with it.
Aw, thanks, Remy. Our new boss beat you to the pot.
It's 3 sugars.
I'll take a cappuccino if you just taking orders.
Luckily, I am giving them. After breakfast, the X-Men will...
He's such a bitch.
Now, one thing about Magneto, he definitely has a way with his words, as opposed to Gambit. He's just going to say how he feels right then and there. So the exchange between the both of them, the back and forth, it has been making the season very, very, very interesting.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though.
It's revealed that it's Jubilee's 18th birthday. She wanted to spend her birthday in the arcade because if you watch the original series and if you read the comments, Jubilee loves video games. Magneto says no because he wants the X-Men in the danger room practicing.
The X-Men will report to the danger room for drills. Jubilee will see far more birthdays should she learn to master her powers to face a world that despises her.
And now, here's the thing. I'm not mad at Magneto saying everybody needs to be in the danger room, because as I said in episode 2, when the X-Men got their asses handed to them by Executioner, who was a simple human being with technology.
Well, you're kind. You act like you got it so
Soft. Overrated. Pretty boy. A bitch.
So I agree with Magneto said the X-Men need to train more, but I disagree with him saying that Jubilee needs to train on her birthday. It is the girl's birthday. Let her have a day to herself. Like, what's the problem?
What's wrong with just one day where I don't have to freak out about the professor or Cyclops and his latest control issue?
Jubilee, she's pouting about Magneto not allowing her to go to the arcade for her birthday. Next thing you know, she discovers a game console that is not hers. She's never seen it before, but she assumes that this is her birthday surprise. The video game console shoots out a whole bunch of wires. It surrounds their neck. It sticks the wires in their head, and they are sucked into a video game. So within this video game, they have to fight a Sentinel, then they have to fight the Friends of Humanity, then they're running from cops, and then they get transported into Genosha, and then they realize we are legit in the video game. What the hell is going on?
What in the name of all heaven is that?
Now Mojo is this big ass, dumb ass, cloud chasing ass villain that is obsessed with kidnapping mutants, particularly the X-Men, and have the mutants fight and use their powers and film it for ratings and clout. That's literally the premise of Mojo and the whole Mojo World universe. Now, usually Mojo airs his shenanigans on television, but this time he decides to use the aspect of video games. He wants Jubilee and Roberto to act as if they are in an actual video game, but they are fighting for their lives, and if they die in the video game, they die in real life. So that is the premise of this whole Mojo World situation. One thing I wanted to point out in this episode are the Easter eggs, because they are paying homage to the X-Men arcade video games. Then also, you see a whole bunch of 90s shows that the X-Men are drawn to mock their logo, and it's so nostalgic. I absolutely love it. First one was Who's the Boss? The second one was Divorce Court, starring Jean and Cyclops. Petty, petty, petty. And the third one was A Different World, and I love how they did A Different World because they included North Star, who is a Canadian speedster. They included him in the animation. I just thought that was so dope. I love A Different World. Different World is actually one of my favorite 90s sitcoms ever. And so as Jubilee and Roberto are navigating the video game world, Jubilee is having a bomb-ass time. As I said earlier, she loves video games. So she's fighting Sentinel, she's fighting dinosaurs, she is fighting Sauron, she is beating all the bosses, she is having the time of her life. Roberto has to snatch her over to the side and be like, listen, I understand that you love video games, but I need you to get a grasp of reality. We need to escape out of here.
Jubes, listen to yourself. None of this is real. Sooner or later, you gotta grow up.
Next thing you know, Roberto gets hit in the head by, I think, a can. Jubilee has to fight a boss version of a video game Magneto. She gets the upper hand on him because she realizes that video game bosses, they do the same move.
He's got a pattern of attacks. I just need to wait for it to cycle.
She ends up defeating him and she wins the round. And she finds an extra life. She gives it to Roberto. He is revived. And that right there, that sparks the attraction. Like, they were already attracted to each other, flirting here and there, but they are really, really, really attracted because Jubilee almost lost that boy's life.
Was I dead?
Oh, thank goodness. I thought I lost you.
And she is just so relieved that he is back alive with her. Next thing you know, there's some big hand that grabs Jubilee and Roberto and transport them into another dimension. The person that grabs them is a older version of Jubilee. So basically, Mojo created test bots, and the older Jubilee loves cheat codes. So she found a way to hack the system. She found a way to maneuver it through the game without going through every single trial. And she's telling Jubilee, like, listen, I've had the time of my life being here, but you are also in the real world and you have to enjoy life outside of video games because it's so much beauty and prosperity out there in life that you need to enjoy. Pretty much mimicking what Roberto just said to her a couple minutes ago before he almost died. So then Mojo appears and he is bringing the fight to Jubilee, and Roberto, and they pretty much jump him. Like, they whoop his ass. The old Jubilee and the young Jubilee, they combine their fireworks powers and they blast that nigga, and he is essentially defeated. So once he is defeated, Jubilee and Roberto, they are transported back into the real world. Like I said, this was a very short episode. I want to say it was probably like 10 to 15 minutes, if that. And they're in the real world. They are relieved. They are kind of shocked. They was like, wow, like, we were just in a video game. How long were we out or whatever? Jubilee re-emphasized that I almost lost you. Like, you almost died in a video game.
Roberto, you could have...
Yeah. Talk about risk.
And next thing you know, they kiss. And I would have never thought that Jubilee and Sunspot would be a couple, but I kind of like them together. I really do. I like their chemistry. I like the arrogance of Roberto, thinking that everything is about him. Again, he is so wealthy. He is so high maintenance.
How did we get downtown so fast?
And then you got Jubilee. She's such a carefree spirit, but she is also so loving, so considerate. And the both of them together, it's like opposites attract. And yeah, I just am surprised that they got their freak on like that. Like, wow, okay. Jubilee got some birthday on her birthday. So next we transition to the second half of the episode, and this is about Storm and Forge. For those who may not know, this storyline is based off the comic X-Men Uncanny X-Men 186, and it's called Life Death. So pretty much in the comic, Storm is going through a depression because she does not have her powers. So she's trying to find her usefulness. She's trying to find her purpose in life. She's just trying to understand herself as a woman that used to be a mutant and trying to figure out, am I still a mutant? Just because I don't have my powers, is the mutant gene still in my DNA? I cannot be a hero anymore. This is all that I've known about life. Now what I'm gonna do? So Forge is the one that comes and try to like shake her out of the depression and be like, listen, I am going to work overtime to make sure I restore your powers, because Forge has the ability to build whatever machine comes to his mind. We transition to Storm and Forge. They're having dinner together. You know, Forge made her some chili.
My papa's bison chili.
based off of Storm's reaction, Forge can cook. Like, the man can throw down. So then we transition into them riding horses together. While she is riding the horse, she is feeling the wind in her hair because she never had that feeling since she lost her powers and the ability to fly. So she's just enjoying, you know, the nature life, enjoying riding horses, enjoying the company of Forge, and they're just having a good time. So we kind of see their relationship blossoming. So then we transition to the conversation pretty much saying Forge is working out a way to restore Storm's powers. And in his office, we see a mood board and we see all these pictures of Forge fighting in the war, working for this team, working for that team, winning Nobel Peace Prizes. And then we see a picture of the X Factor. I absolutely love the X Factor. I would love to get an X-Men 97 spin-off series of the X Factor team. Havoc, Polaris, Strong Guy, Wolfbane, Monet, Multiple Man. And Quicksilver. I would love an X Factor team because the X Factor team, they directly work for the government, and to the public, they look like they are hunting mutants, but in reality, they are going to help mutants that can't control their powers, bringing them back to their facilities, and they are teaching them how to control their powers. And once they get the hang of it, they'll drop the mutant off to the Xavier Institute, or they'll drop it off to Muir Island. So it's a nice little system that they are working out to please the public, but then also to please the mutant community. I love the X Factor, and then I love in the spin-off comic series they did X Factor Investigations, basically investigating the death of mutants or investigating the kidnapping of mutants. You know, it's like a Law and Order team for the X-Men. Like, I really enjoyed the X Factor. So if they was to do an X-Men 97 spin-off series, X Factor, that should be number one. Now back to Storm. So Storm walks into a machine. Forge is thinking that he has the ability to restore her powers. He activates the machine and then they go outside to try it. It does not work.
I am Storm, mistress of the elements. Rise, winds, and move the desert sands. This isn't happening, Forge. Can't be real.
I know, Aurora.
So Storm falls into another depression. She is sad. She is upset. She does not have the ability to control the weather, and it is messing with her mentally. Then later on in the episode, it is revealed that Forge is the reason why Storm no longer has her powers. So Storm finds this out and she goes off.
You, of all people, should know the perils of trusting those in Washington.
So here come Forge with the gaslighting manipulation, like, listen, I'm sorry, and I brought you here so I can correct my wrongdoings. And then he tells Storm that I love you.
I love you.
And Storm just hauls off and slaps the shit out of him.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though.
You meant to make me a goddess. Instead, you have fashioned a fool.
Like, here's the thing. Roberto and Jubilee, they was able to get their freak on. But Forge, I don't know what he thought he was going to do, but Storm shut that down real quick. Like, nah, homie, like, I do not fuck with you. The episode ends off, Storm leaves, but then she realizes that she is in a telepathic illusion. And she doesn't know where the she is. Basically, she is abducted by a villain known as the Adversary, and I would go into this character's history, but it is extremely long and extremely complicated. Basically, just know and understand that the Adversary is a shard of the big villain known as the Shadow King. Pretty much. You know, so with Storm and Forge, that is going to be continued. Quick episode, you know, 2 storylines in one situation, and it was a cool watch. Like, it was a fun watch. Again, it did not meet a lot going on compared to the first 3 episodes, but it was just a fun, filler, lighthearted episode. Jubilee and Roberto, they got their freak on. Forge, he gained some blue balls and got slapped in the face.
Bitch ass nigga, pussy boy, nigga.
That's the premise of this episode. The only successful X-Men couple in this series so far is Jubilee and Sunspot. We don't know what the is going on with Gambit, Rogue, and Magneto. We don't know what the is going on with Forge and Storm. We don't know what the is going on with Scott and Jean. We don't know what the is going on with Jean and Wolverine. Jubilee and Roberto, enjoy your time together, because clearly the adults, they don't know what the hell they're doing. But yes, that is the end of this review. Another X-Men shirt. X-Men 97, you haven't disappointed me so far, even with this filler episode. I'm still in love.